to our June. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our June 16th board meeting. Before we begin, I would love to pass this to Trustee Meyer.
I just would like to acknowledge that we're holding this meeting on the unceded territory of the Tsimshian and Smellik speaking people. And we are so grateful, or I am so grateful to be able to work and live and be present on the land, especially in the sunshine.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And also I would love to just acknowledge, my goodness, that it's June and that we're very fortunate to have two presentations tonight, both focused on students, which is why we are here. And I'd love to just bring that all back, that we hold students at the center of all that we do. So I call for adoption of the agenda. Trustee Veal, as amended.
As amended, sorry, pardon me. I'd like to approve the agenda as amended, please.
Great, so additions.
I have three additions, Madam Chair. These are under Secretary Treasurer's report. 7.5, bylaw 2026-01. 2026-02, which is 7.6, and 7.7 is the calendar.
Wonderful. Seconder. Trustee Meyer, and all in favor as amended. Great, so moved. Thank you. Superintendent Samuel.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Today we are very fortunate. We have two presentations, and the first one is with Monsieur Michael McDowell to present about the French immersion speaking competition.
Oh, thank you. Yes, Supervisor and everybody else here, thank you. So I'm Mike McDowell. I'm in charge of the French immersion program. And today I'm here to actually talk to you all about a program that we're working with teachers that we kind of devised to actually help some of our oral French skills and students, more importantly, their French skills. Working with teachers, we kind of knew that speaking French is very difficult in a place such as Prince Rupert or any place that isn't exactly bilingual. So your places and locations that you can actually, go and talk French are usually designed in the classroom. And so that's what we wanted to kind of emphasize, is ways that we can, get the students to work and practice at a much higher level to speak their French. So in August of last year, working with the teacher from CHSS and the two teachers from the middle school, we kind of talked about ways, and we talked about bringing back concours. Concours means French, or contest in French, and the Canadian Parents for French host I guess it's a Canada-wide one, actually, every year, Canada-wide speaking contest. And there's a few rules where it has to be about 3 to 5 minutes. It's a topic of the student's choice, so they get to actually be engaged in what they're actually talking about. And it just has to be totally in French. There are, some basic categories where, I guess there's a French immersion one, there is core French, there is for folks that are in, Francophone programs. So it kind of goes to all different ranges and so on. But, yeah, we thought we'd try to bring it back because it's been well over 10 years, maybe 15 years since we've actually done it, within our district. And so, yeah, we said, let's go for it, see how it goes. And it actually came back really, really well. You flip and again, as why we want to do it would be, again, for the students to get practicing writing French, and writing out their speeches, memorizing in French, speaking in French, which actually all goes along with what we want them to do by the end of grade 12 when they have to take a grade 12 exam. These are some of the components that they need to be able to do. And so in this way, we can kind of get them ready. And we even went from grade 6 to all the way through grade 12. So the entire program actually did it. So the hope would be by the time, if they're starting in grade 6 and they do in grade 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, by the time they hit grade 12, they will be more than ready and more than skilled with what they need to do by the time they hit grade 12 and to do their proficiency exam. Next one. So in March was when we actually were able to do our high school one. We did that one first. We had all 40 of our French immersion students start in classes. And so they presented, and again, 3 to 5 minutes in class. And we kind of partnered with AFNO, who were able to provide us some judges. And they kind of then cut down to about a top 10, top 11, who were able to go to round 2 and then present in front, at the NPR at the high school. And so they were able to do it in front of all their peers. And then we invited the middle schoolers who were then gonna do it, after, spring break to come and see what it was about, knowing that they would have to do the same thing. And again, volunteers from AFCO did an amazing job, and some amazing jobs done by a lot of the kids, a wide variety of different topics. But Kiri Orton, who is right here, ended up being our winner, and she was actually talking about the importance of libraries. So that was cool. The following month, we did it at the middle school again, try to get the young students kind of prepared, looking towards the future, and a similar kind of one where the teachers kind of did the first round one in the classes, kind of cut it down to about a top 10, 5 from each class, and then came down to it. And a woman named by Astrid Warburton, she actually was a very fancy topic, started talking about the dangers of professional burnout. I was like, whoa, okay, cool. And what you can do to counteract that. And I'm like, okay, very good for her. So she ended up winning for the middle school on that one. And we gave little prizes about, I think it was like a $50 gift certificate to a restaurant or something like that, something to achieve for. But at the high school level, because Kiri was able then to represent us down in Surrey, excellent. She was able to go in May, and it was down at Surrey SFU campus, so they were able to have a BC championship down there, and she was able to compete against about 15 to 20 other students that fell into her category, which was grade 11 to 12 French immersion category. And next one, she was able to again give her the same speech, did amazingly well. Although she didn't necessarily get in the top 3, I would definitely say she was definitely well within the top half, if not maybe the top 6. They don't actually give us the scores, this is what we're talking about, unless you're in the top 3. But maybe I'm biased, but I definitely think she wasn't far out from the top 3. So I brought Kiri along. If you guys want, she was gonna maybe say a couple words about her experience, and then you guys can maybe talk to her and ask her some questions, so.
Yay.
Yeah, my experience at the Concord Oratoire was really spectacular. I think it was great to be like what, I guess like in Prince Rupert especially, like we just have our little small French immersion program. So it's great to see kind of what other schools are doing and what other students are able to do with their French. Kind of see like where we're at too. And yeah, it was a great experience.
Questions?
Just a couple, so on the program itself, I'm glad that you brought it back. I mean, all of our languages in our community are beneficial to diverse people, right? And I like to see that kids get to go and experience it, and someday maybe Indigenous people will get to go and do the same. But at this point, I mean, obviously Surrey's a big undertaking, like, so how did you feel in front of doing this in front of like an array of judges and fellow peers?
Honestly, I think that the one that we did at school kind of prepared me really well, and I didn't really feel intimidated because I was comfortable. We did a lot of practice at school, so yeah, it was.
So you did feel comfortable?
Yeah, it was-
doing it? Well, that's good. I think it's important. Good for public speaking in the future, right?
And because your cute mom was there.
Needed somebody to look after her while she was in Surrey. Any other questions for Kiri? Okay. But yeah, this is a program that we hope to continue next year and into the future. I know a lot of the teachers are already looking forward to trying again, and even some of the students, they want to try a different topic. I've seen some of the other things that their colleagues and peers have done, so they want to try it too, so.
Yeah, I just want to, and then Trustee Meyer, I just want to say congratulations and how incredibly awesome to do this, to put yourself out in this way, to head south and to stand on a big stage. And just kudos to you. Really, really
Yes.
wonderful. Trustee Meyer.
Just congratulations, but also on the program itself. My little one is in grade 7 and had to do this, and it was like a huge anxiety. Oh my goodness, I have to speak in public, because the only time I ever hear her speak in public is when we run into Mr. McDowell, and McDonald's or, you know, or Carmel, and then she's forced on the spot to
Yeah.
speak French. So I never knew my kids could speak French in the French immersion program because I never hear them. And so what she got out of it was a lot of like, hey, I can stand up in front of people, people understand what I'm saying, and now I have to figure out how to make it better for next year because they know that it's coming. So, yeah, I think it was really great. Thank you and congratulations.
Yeah, and it was a great confidence builder for a lot of students.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
So,
And thanks for coming on your break.
Yeah.
We understand you're at work, so that's really awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Mr. McDowell, thank you very much.
Yeah,
And
thank
wonderful.
pleasure was mine.
Oh, and next on our double bill agenda, we have Christine Danroth and students from Pacific Coast School to elucidate us on their Inspire trip.
Elucidate us. Wow.
Might
Got one.
My name's Christine, so I'm from Pacific Coast School, and
Sure, yes.
I brought an entourage with me, and we are going old school, and we printed our PowerPoint that Quinn made for us. So Quinn, Samaya, and Kaylee all came on the trip with us to Halifax. We went on May 10th and came back on a Thursday, so a Sunday to a Thursday. Thanks very much, Kaylee. So if you want to look on the first page of your little PowerPoints. This was an Inspire trip. We went last year to Vancouver. And it's a fully funded trip for Indigenous youth. So I applied for the funding, I think in November, and we were given the funding to go. And so I picked 10 students and 3 staff members, and off we went. So we'll go to Quinn first. Yeah, okay. It's all good. We'll just make it like a conversation.
Go first.
So one of the themes, I'm gonna introduce, sorry, one of the themes was community. When we got to Halifax right away, we realized we found community. So you can go see that.
I should read it.
Sure.
Okay. Inspired was an extremely powerful and positive event. It promoted expressing individuality while bringing together a community of young Indigenous individuals, experiencing culture, community, and individuality.
I'll just add in, when we first go into the conference, the first thing you notice is there's music's playing, it's super exciting, you get pumped up, they get the crowd going, they have an MC, it's super exciting.
There's
So,
also a lot of traditional wear.
yeah,
A lot of
everyone's in
ribbons
traditional
there.
wear.
Everyone was wearing their own traditional wear, and some even had these cool like headpieces. It's really cool to see.
No, Brennan?
Kindness and inclusivity. The students at PCS all showed kindness and inclusivity with each other. We all included each other when we went out. If we went out together, we always invited the other students on the trip. As well as other young people at the conference. There was over 1,000. And I think we really reached out and tried to show kindness towards everybody. And then as well as our wonderful chaperones, Chris Thompson and Devin were so incredibly kind and generous to go with us. And I think we all tried to show respect to them as well as the staff at the conference and then flight attendants and just people we met in travel.
There were 4 first-time flyers with us, so we ripped the Band-Aid really quick and Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon, we left and we got to Vancouver. We took a night, the red eye to Montreal.
Yeah.
And then Montreal to Halifax. So we went for 24 hours, and for those 4 first-time flyers, Keely was one of them. It was just an exciting experience to get them on a plane and then 2 planes later and then 3 planes back.
Wow.
Do you wanna go next?
Oh, okay. For our activities, there are a lot of fun activities there. We got to go to an old war fort, and Stanrock really wanted us to dip our hands into the ocean.
And because our schedule was tight, we couldn't do so much, but we did get to go to the mall, which was fun.
The mall was open.
The mall was there. We got to try some nice, different foods there, which I thought was fun. And it was fun to dip our hands in the ocean. And it was really cool, at the old war fort because there's people still there marching. They're like, what was it called again?
The Citadel, yeah,
well,
and then the
with
fort,
flags.
oh, the bagpiper.
Yeah, and there's like, it was really cool there.
So PCS, because we're so small, it was a lot of like personal growth for everybody, including myself. And like we touched on, it was a lot of people's first time flying or leaving the province. And it really pushed people out of their comfort zone and encouraged individual personal growth. It was also inspired, was so incredibly positive and very supportive. It understood that people need breaks. They had like specific rooms for people who need a break or something, but it also really encouraged reaching out and talking to people you don't know. And what's the word I'm searching for? And just interacting with everybody. And it was really, encouraging and push people out of their comfort zones and really encourage new opportunities and experiences. Okay, there was an inspired trades fair, which was an incredible opportunity for the students at PCS to see what they could do for their futures and how Indigenous communities will be there to support them and help them grow through their career. It was also incredibly beneficial to see how many opportunities, support, and Indigenous leaders there are. There was a lot of different booths where I met people. I met a really cool booth that was all about Indigenous documentaries, and it was Métis founded, which I felt really connected because I'm Métis. And that was a big thing. I put a photo there, it's Indigenous Geographic. And there was also a lot of other opportunities just to really see universities, see trade options, and really see what's out there for you and who's out there to support you and lend a hand to help you grow.
Wow.
That was it.
Yeah.
Questions? I have some. So what's the traditional foods that they served you in Halifax?
Well, it wasn't like at the convention, but I did get to try Korean food down there. It was like their donair pizza, that's really famous there. We also got to try
So you
that.
didn't try any Indigenous food?
There actually wasn't any,
They
which
didn't
was
serve any-
interesting, yeah.
People did not come and serve any Indigenous food.
No,
I'm
there,
very disappointed.
Yeah.
Very disappointed.
the food was really good, but it was one area that we didn't see like any food, which I actually didn't think about that until now.
Yeah.
So, but they tried a lot of Halifax street food, so.
Any other questions?
What's the one thing that you'll never forget on your trip?
Yeah, sure. They had 3 women go up on stage and they all had different professions. They're all Indigenous. One of them really spoke to me, like they were talking about their fears going into college and getting into their career, and they talked about like it's very important to take that step, even if you're scared, and not to look at how far everyone else is going, because that'll only slow you down. So that helped me a lot.
That's awesome, awesome.
Me and Kaylee met Stan, who is the host of everything. And meeting him was like one thing I'll never forget, because he was so kind and welcoming. And at first we went looking for him and he came out and we thought he was gonna be angry. Because he was like deadpan, and then he smiled and he was so kind and so supportive. And then also just all the speakers that were there to really encourage you and really help see that there is people out there that want to support us. And then connecting with my community, because there's not a lot of Métis representation in Prince Rupert. So being able to meet Métis people as well as Cree, because I'm Cree, was so inspiring for me to see that there's so many, yeah.
Great.
Honestly, I agree with both of them.
That's a good bailout.
That's a smart one.
I would like to add though, as she was saying, there were a lot of colleges, universities there. Like at the booths, and there's a lot of hands-on things there as well. But as she said, there's like, they're showing many opportunities for you. I got to find out that there's some colleges that like have like really good,
Program?
that too. But like making it easy for Indigenous youth and
With
it's
representation.
yeah, that too.
Wow.
Awesome.
What a great experience.
Any other questions?
I bet you won't forget that, right? You know, one big trip out of Prince.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your time tonight. Thank you all for coming. Very wonderful.
Thank you for your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Okay. Some was for them to be able to.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so approval of the minutes of the open board meeting held on May 19th.
I'll make a motion. Oh,
Trustee Myers,
a second.
seconded trustee Beal. Would you care to speak to that? No, wonderful, all in favor? Item number 4, necessity of closed meeting and agenda.
I'll make the motion to approve from 4.1 through 4.9.
Great, seconded. Trustee Sanchez, all in favor? Wonderful, so moved. 5.1, address to the board, none. 5.2, copy to the board, none. And on to superintendent of school reports.
Thank you, Madam Chair. First on our agenda for tonight is our enrollment information, and that's on page 10 of your program package. And for that, I ask Director of Instruction Carla Rohr to share with us.
Hey, Superintendent Semler and Madam Chair. So as you can see on the enrollment graph for May, there wasn't a significant change in enrollment between April and May. The exact number is 1776, so one less student than we saw in April.
Any questions?
What did you say the final number was?
Oh, 1776, sorry.
Any questions?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
6.1.2 upcoming projects, learning and others. We have two things going on. First of all, as always, there's a lot going on, and as you know, this is basically the final report that I'll give in this format starting in September. Superintendent's report would be more of a challenge report, which is I'll submit information to you. It'll be in your packages. And then if there's questions, you'll ask me. However, I will present on how the activities that I do as your only employee, how they specifically match up to your strategic plan. So we are working on the educational plan, which will show basically what we're doing each month and how those objectives that you've set are being met by our staff. So this month I attended the June DPAC meeting. Group asked some very good questions. And it's nice to see they have a great interest in the programs and services that we're offering, and they asked a lot of very good questions. I also attended the Charles Hayes grad ceremony on Friday. It was a wonderful packed house. The production was smooth and very professional, as I had texted Ms. Rourke, and Ms. Rourke said, I've been doing it a few years. So, yeah, the team does it, that's right. But it was a great event. Good to hear about the varied plans that our students have for the future. And what I noticed is how it's changed from I want to be an influencer to other professions, or I want to travel. I heard travel a lot. People want to travel, and I think that's great. I'll also be attending the Pacific Coast ceremonies this Thursday at the Lester Center.
I just wanted to add to that, I noted how many students said they're taking a gap year for whatever reasons. I just thought that was really, very piqued my interest.
Piqued mine too, especially because a lot of the elders that sit behind me weren't happy. I don't want them to take that gap year. They won't go back to school.
In support of our strategic plan and our operational plan, I attended the large framework meeting, which was on May 28th. In the meeting with staff and trustee representatives, we examined recent school data and drew conclusions on actions and things we can take in support of student literacy and numeracy. We also, in my group, talked about attendance, and I learned a lot from the staff on some of the things that they're working on. So it's very, very good to be at that meeting. We also had, in support of our strategic plan, I attended the literacy plan and framework meeting at Wapsigaget. There we reviewed the literacy framework, and the group compiled a list of suggestions to make the plan more clear and concise. Our group suggested the length could be reduced because we were talking about new staff, and it's it's a comprehensive document, but we thought new staff coming in, as you know, first year staff, you can be overwhelmed with the amount of things you have to do for your class. And so we thought if we could do something to have some highlights at a glance that they could put up on a board somewhere where they're working in their classrooms, it would make it a lot easier. And again, it's just a suggestion. In support of Truth and Reconciliation, I attended the BCTDA meeting on transportation. Canada has made the decision to provide an extension to the current transportation funding agreement for only one additional year. As well, I reached out to the new executive director for Metlakatla, as we will need to meet with chief and council along with the board chair and trustees. June 9th and 10th, the counseling staff, in partnership with the RCMP Victim Services, hosted an interactive Safer Space workshop presented by Children of the Street. It's a prevention education program from Vancouver, and grades 4 to 5 and 6 to 8. Different sessions focused on online safety, digital trends that they should be aware of, and strategies for helping students make safe choices when using online apps, social media, and things like online video games. And as you know, as parents, a lot of stuff in the news, it seems to be increasing. So we are concerned. Early learning and childcare. While the board does not have a direct action plan for childcare, the Ministry of Education and now Child Care is providing supports to establish and maintain before and after school care, and where possible, daycare. I can report that the summer childcare program at Conrad Street Elementary is now at capacity with 24 students. This is the third year that we're running that program. We did advertise in flyers and in social media in the community, and that's probably why it filled up. Registration for all childcare programs across the board have gained momentum due to the increased parental awareness and advertising through social media. The childcare program at Conrad Street will run year-round for the 2026-2027 school year. The program will be open to all families who have children enrolled at board-operated programs. And this is during non-instructional days, including 1 week during the winter break and 2 weeks of the spring break. This year-round offering will be in essence, a pilot, and will be reevaluated in June of 2027. The ECE dual credit programs for Charles Hayes and PCS students have now completed a 4th year in our district. 19 to 20 students have completed the 2 courses. 19 of 20 students have completed the 2 courses this term. Hecate Street met with this year's cohort and has offered support with grants and applications to post-secondary institutions to the grade 12 students who will be continuing with the full early childhood education certificate. This program will be offered again next year for Charles Hayes and PCS grade 11 and 12 students. As superintendent, it is also administrator performance evaluation time. I continue to meet with our administrators this month to discuss school successes, challenges, and strategies for ensuring the tenets of the strategic plan are being implemented. Next.
Any questions?
A lot of good things going on.
This district is busy.
Mhm.
We're working very hard in June. Next, Madam Chair, on my report, Roberta Ritza will present the annual report
Wonderful.
for Ed Department.
Thank you.
They're saying annual report.
I'm a humble, everybody. These are draft.
I can tell right away.
You know the drill.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful. I
Yeah.
love this work. I love this. Beautiful.
The values, so.
Oh,
ask.
isn't it pretty?
I have not copied her, but we can share. So here's the values for our school district strategic plan. So while you're looking through it, so the activity we're kind of thinking about tonight is choose one of those values. And then look through the annual report and see how you can identify one of those values. I know you don't want to edit. Let's do some stickers on there, right?
Sure.
I think the report, no, I think the report is gonna do every one of them.
Yeah.
But-
Of course.
So I don't have a PowerPoint. I'm just trying to like the kids. But we just wanted to, and I know limited on time tonight too, but just to kind of go through it, take a look at the connections to our values from the strategic plan and see how you identify, anything in the annual report to those values. And just a reminder, the annual report has changed over the years, so everything, program services, staffing, pictures, students are for this year. But the data is a reflection of last year's data.
So that's why the enrollment is last.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you. Sure.
You know, one thing, it always stands out to me again is, over the years, the growth in young people. Watching the interaction on Friday night with the students, Indigenous and non-Indigenous peoples. Really hit home for me how they are starting to evolve to work together. Like the respect with the language when kids were speaking, the songs. I watched a lot of the non-Indigenous kids really like participating, you know, like you could see they were engaged in what their peers were doing. And that was the first time that really stood out to me. So I think the Indigenous Ed Council is the most valuable thing for everyone in our district because it brings people together. Where I don't see that when I travel throughout the province, I don't see that connection like we have here. And do you guys kind of agree when we travel, Kate? Like, we don't see the connection like we see in our own community. Maybe it's because we're smaller, but I don't even see it in the terrace community, and they're not much larger than us, so.
Something we tried to kind of amplify one of our programs each year, and this year I'd like for you to turn to 22, 23, 24, and 25. These are highlighting our local role models and artists. Kyle Talio, he's an amazing artist from Newhall, and he's going into classrooms and he has so much patience and knowledge. And the students really connect with him. And it seems like when he talks, he has this voice that travels, but he's not raising it, and they listen, and it's really something to see. And he asks really good questions that are engaging. And then on the next page, it's Jason Watts. Jason Watts has been in our district for a long time. He has some schools that always are signing him up months in advance. So he's really connecting with the same students growing up as they go through. That's mostly Conrad. And our very own Lauren Leask. This is Laura Leask's daughter. She's amazing. She's at ninth at UBC right now, but she's an amazing artist, and she created a coloring book that we printed through Wapsigaget, and they are for sale at Wapsigaget. The proceeds will go towards Lauren and then the printing of it. And then.
Did I just see her in the paper? Was she in the paper recently? Or did I see her on Facebook? Someone posted something.
Probably Facebook, yeah.
Facebook, that's where,
Yeah.
yeah. That's Laura's daughter?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, I was thinking she's still a little kid. Poor getting old. I was just going to tell her about that.
And then First Nations Art at Charles Hayes. Kelly Clifton is the teacher in her class. Each year has First Nations art show. It's very successful. A lot of proud artists there and families and friends coming to admire their art.
Wow. What a beautiful.
On page 30, small community recorded, really cool. Our team helped host a luncheon for the students and staff and family, which is very cute. They all can fit on one couch. Where's our data? Page 35.
Oh, wow. This is lovely, yeah, that was nice, yeah. Yeah.
Roberta, just a question about this data that's on the bottom, well, actually everywhere, it shows the like from 2023, 2024 to 2024, 2025, the on track or extending dropped. You know, at least 10% in most places. However, I am curious if possibly the larger intake of people doing the assessment could have somehow, you know what I mean? Like at the top of page 36, it says 88% of Indigenous learners participated in the assessment compared to 57% previously. So if perhaps the larger number of people participating, if that somehow could move the numbers in the way it did. Yeah, just the curiosity.
Yeah.
Cause that trend, I'm curious as well to see what our numbers are gonna look like for this year, like which way we're trending. Right, 2024, 2025. 43% were on track, then last year 31% were on track, so I'm curious what this year would look like. And also what else could have come and be part of that as well, right? Because that's quite a large number. %20 in those places.
Excuse me, Madam Chair.
Sorry, yes, I'm lost in here. Yes, please.
Will I have the opportunity to see this document?
You sure will. You will get one when it's not in draft.
Yeah, we have it right now in Canva. And so we'd have to download it and print it, and it takes quite a bit, but once we get it full printed, we will share the document.
Good.
We'll have it at the board office for you, Danielle.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Guess I should cover the screen.
Any questions or comments? This document is put together, Lori helps lead it with her team at Wapsicket and put in many hours to kind of accumulate and gather the information. There's still a couple more things with smell like write-up to add to it, but that's about it. And our cover guy, Mr. Bolton. James Bolton. Such a cool.
It's beautiful. The
Yeah.
cover is absolutely beautiful.
I would comment I have is data is so critical,
Yeah.
and also how critical the stories are, the pictures are, the lived experience, you know, what we know that data doesn't show. Yeah, there's just a lot in here to be really proud of, and also a lot of where we need to go. Yeah,
Sure.
A lot of work here, girl. I think we're still catching up from COVID myself. I really believe that we're still lagging behind with COVID. I think we'll see a difference in the next couple of years, but I think everyone in all aspects of our life somewhat lagging behind with these stats, right?
yes, and right, yes, and
What's that?
yes, and right, it may be, however, we still
Not
see-
all of it, but I'm saying, but we are still seeing a bit of that reflective in these marks.
And also too, I think a lot of, I don't know, just the importance of connection, the importance of moving, you know, into critical thinking and away from maybe so much. I know AI is the big thing and I speak loudly against it, but just how important connection is, humanity is, and critical thinking is, and how we hold that too in our district.
I'm 100% on side with that. I don't think AI is going to do the future generations any good at all. Really, I don't. I mean, even in my corporation now, they say, oh, you can use AI. I said, no, I still have to use my brain, because if I don't, I'm gonna see what the results are gonna be after people in 10 years when they start to age how much memory is gonna be lost, right? So. And they say they've got all kinds of protocols in place to catch like people using AI I found the name that might slide through the cracks of it. And when you asked about this values, I see every page inclusiveness standing out here in every single page, so I see the territory, the proudness in this territory, and I see it reflected in this report, where I do see that for everything I've looked at so far. I see a bit of everything, but inclusion is the big one that stands out for me in all this document.
I go up to Friendship Post Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And the things that are being done there is just unbelievable, all Aboriginal stuff. Just great, you know. I learned to do a whole lot of things that I never thought I'd be able to do. But it's there, and I go there Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and just enjoy. Plus, we get a free lunch. It's really good though, because they teach a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of great
It's
programs.
Just
Yeah.
wonderful there, and believe me, even in the little, the kindergarten group that they have there is amazing, wonderful.
Any further questions or comments?
No, thank
No,
you.
just keep up. the
I know that
good work.
Bert has to take these back, but thank you
Please.
for.
I've just got a quick
bringing
question.
it.
Would you be able to give me or give us or give public, I guess, what a curriculum specialist teacher does in schools?
The curriculum specialist teachers used to be called helping teachers.
Right.
But then the community never, they didn't make that connection of their specialist teachers in their area, and their learning belongs like as well.
Right.
They're not experts, but they're gonna specialize in the area that they're teaching and sharing. And they're not, like, a helping teacher was seen as like an assistant. But yeah, no, they have more knowledge in terms of connecting to the curriculum and making Indigenous curriculum count and amplify it, so.
And do they then work with teachers in those schools, or do they come in and work with the students, or how does that, like, how does that work? Both.
Yeah,
Okay.
so they'll be like, they work with Indigenous students through matriarchs and leadership groups every week. They go in and they're helping and supporting, collaborating with teachers, whether it's co-teaching, collaborating, sharing resources, coming in to do some learning for the first time for staff and students. Providing professional development days, open houses, resources, all of that.
Okay.
We have two, so there's priorities in. Elementary takes a lot of their time and space, especially with seasonal rounds, but yeah, that's.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
Just to add to that too, like Roberta said, you never know that we only have two, because
I
they
know.
have a presence in all of the schools in a variety of different ways. Whatever kind of entry points that teachers ask for, whether they want co-teaching, collaborating. They work with librarians in authenticating and evaluating resources. And this year, Tina and Laura also took a group of students to inspire for the youth conference as well.
Right. Okay, perfect. Perfect, thank you.
Also part of Ready Set that I'm welcoming to kindergarten. Oh my goodness, playing K, strong spirit.
Yeah, all of the things.
The EDI. Right, in kindergarten, maybe in the using team have adopted that.
Do we just need approval? With approval?
For a motion for approval.
Yeah,
Is there a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the, is it classified, the 225-26 annual district growth report, Indigenous Education Council.
And I saw seconded by trustee Meyer. Thank you.
And I'll put a couple extra.
We have a motion on the floor to approve. All in favor? Trustee Dalton?
I cannot see it.
Okay,
I cannot, sorry, I have to abstain.
thank
You
you.
can't abstain.
She can, she only can.
Doesn't matter, you're not allowed to abstain. Read the rules. You can say that you don't understand it, but we don't have abstaining at the board levels anymore, unless they changed it again, but.
But she's,
She's at present at the meeting, even though she's on Zoom.
but she can't see the document that's being approved.
Yeah, so how could she vote?
So I can vote in this case then? As your fourth? Of
You can.
Right.
But you're voting affirmative, right?
course.
Yeah, no, so it's not a tied vote, so it really doesn't matter.
So moved, but for quorum purposes.
Yeah,
Wonderful. Thank you, Beth.
wonderful.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Superintendent?
That concludes my report, Madam Chair, for June 2026.
And 2025-2026 school year.
Correct.
Wow, wonderful, thank you. Secretary Treasurer's report, your own clapping.
Wait.
Please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Secretary Treasurer's report, item 7.1, statement of operations for May 2026 on page 11 of your package. These are your two regular monthly reports as of May 31st. Going down the list of expenses, the variances are on par with what we've been looking at in the prior few months. Just a few reminders that the reason that we are seeing some of these variances are due to the 3% labor settlement increase that's been applied, which wasn't included in the budget. So that's the main reason why there's variances in some of those. I also wanted to just briefly go over the services and supplies. So in last month, we did have a 203 favorable variance in April. And this month in May, we are seeing a 96,000 favorable variance. And I just wanted to point out that the main reason for that is because we did a reallocation of our snow removal costs to our operating budget. So previously they were coded in our annual facilities grant, and they should be coded to operating. So we did that transfer in May. So that is the first report. Any questions before?
Just, I just want to point out, like, because people do look at this and they see we're making huge interest income. Just for the audience, we should remind the audience this money, the only reason why we're having these huge increases in interest is to do with the money we hold in trust from the government to build our school. Just so that people online don't think that we actually have a lot of interest coming in because we're hiding a lot of money. It's money that we're, you know, we already have allocated for the school.
Yeah,
And the new.
and the
daycare
new childcare
facilities.
building.
And
So
could I just add to that? So for clarity, that money is to be used for those is
Exactly.
just for absolute clarity,
Yes.
is that that's not money that then is coming into the coffers of the district.
No.
Thank you. Please.
yeah, so on that note, most of that interest income is related to the funding that we are holding for our childcare facility, actually. Just because of the way that it works with the ministry for that portion of the funding, we actually received upfront. So that's just been sitting there. So that is short-term interest income.
Thank you. Any further questions? Please, Trustee Meyer.
So we are still on track, if I'm reading this correctly, that we still are going to have to withdraw 744,000 from our reserve to balance our budget, correct?
Hard to predict because of year end and what happens in June, but I'll come back to your question. I just want to go to the second report because that'll help answer that question. So that second report is the one that is per program. And as you know, I like to always just quickly touch base on this one because it is a good overall picture, I think. So that those percentages on the far right-hand side, you can see that the grand total at the very bottom right-hand corner is at 11%. And as you guys all know, this is made up of programs that are either 12 months long or 10 months. So for the 12-month programs, we would expect to be staying at about 8% for those.
remaining for the June month, and then for the 10-month programs, we'd be expecting to see about 10% in there. So the fact that we're staying at 11% is better than expected, so that is a good sign. But again, a lot can happen in the month of June. Right. Spending.
Could I ask Madam Chair, why, what's going on in our maintenance department, that we're seeing that increasing?
I have to look into it.
Is that the snow removal?
Well,
Part of it
it
could
could
be
be part of the
snow,
snow removal.
for sure.
It's up to you making that adjustment. That's why
Yeah.
I'm curious.
Yeah, so, off the top of my head, I think it's about 40,000 over budget. 30 to 40,000 over budget, with the snow removal cost for this year.
Okay,
And that's.
So that would be part of it, for
Right.
sure.
well, we didn't have a great winter, did we? We couldn't shovel the rain this year.
Any other questions before we move on?
Nope.
Just if people are, we did have snow this year.
Yeah, I know, I just said we
Yeah,
couldn't
this was
shovel
like-
the rain this year.
Yes, thank you. Yes, I just wanted to, anybody else who was questioning the reality, like I was, that's not really please.
And lots.
Okay, moving on to item 7.2, which is the 26-27 annual budget and bylaw. So just a reminder for the board and public, we did read the first bylaw at our last board meeting in May. And so tonight we are just looking to do the second and third reading.
Before that happens, I have a question. Has there been any changes to this since we've made the first reading on this bylaw?
Question, there has been no changes.
That's all I need to know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Reading, wishes of the board, we have a. Please, trustee Meyer.
Yeah, just wait, I have a question first.
Oh,
I'm just
great.
trying to remember what it is. I just want to make sure that I'm understanding. The first reading that we did last month was to put how much in our contingency? Just so that we know what we're adopting.
Get that exactly, that's right. So we are expecting to have, be sitting at an ending balance of 359,000.
Yeah.
What I thought, I just wanted to make sure. And then do we need to make a motion to do the second and third reading this time, or do I just start
We
reading
do.
because we
No,
made the motion?
No, it's a new motion. Complete new motion.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to do the second and the third reading of the annual budget bylaw
Adoption.
and adoption.
Beautiful, seconder,
I'll second that.
trustee Beal, wonderful.
We have to do it all in favor.
Yes, all in favor? Great,
Perfect.
so
So now I'm reading.
please,
No, now you're reading that. You need,
Yeah. now
you
she's
need
reading.
to make all, no, because you didn't do that right. We're making a motion to do second, third reading, right, and adoption.
Mhm.
Oh, never
Yes,
mind.
we did that.
Never mind, sorry, pardon me, no, I was thinking we were
Giving me an
making.
aneurysm.
I'm sorry, I was thinking. No, sorry,
We're all.
I was off topic there, sorry, pardon me.
Okay, annual budget bylaw. A bylaw of the Board of Education of School District Number 52, Prince Rupert, called the board to adopt the annual budget of the board for the fiscal year 2026-2027 pursuant to section 113 of the School Act. And as amended from time to time called the Act, read a second time on the 16th day of June 2026.
Second that.
Trustee Beal, great, all in favor?
Yes, Milton, yeah,
And then read a third time, passed and adopted the 16th day of June 2026.
Seconder, trustee Sanchez, all in favor? Beautiful. Thank you. So moved.
Thank you. Item 7.3 is the May 2026 Operations Department report on page 30 of your package. And we have Kevin here to address any questions.
He's not taking questions.
I just have one question, are we getting a summer student?
Yes. 4.
Four
Nice.
summer students? Oh, good, that would be nice to see that, we'll be able to keep up with our beautiful maintenance for the summer. make sure you work on them.
Wow.
Send them over to
Any-
my house.
No houses. Any further questions or comments? No trustee Horn, so no questions.
But I will
Please.
step in for
Good.
trustee
Thank you.
Warren.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Yes.
Kevin, for all that you do and the maintenance department and all of the people.
Yeah, that's
Thank
my
you,
basic
trustee
comment.
Warren.
Yeah, there we go.
I looked at Conrad as I was delivering the other day in that area. And I thought, you know, for an old school, it's looking pretty good. You know, that building looks pretty good for the age of it. So I'm pretty proud of what the maintenance people do around here. And Kevin, obviously, it reflects on having a good, team leader that they obviously like. So congratulations and thank you, because obviously when people care for their team leader, they work for their team leader. So thank you.
And just an acknowledgement, 68 work orders were completed, so thank you very much.
Yes.
Moving on to Information and Tech Department. Please, sorry.
Oh, that's okay, you did it. We have Paramjit in the audience to address any questions.
I don't want to even ask, because I just think we're still having problems after that little snippet up country. I don't know if it's affecting the school district, but I know it's still having a lot of impact on several, even businesses in our community. Yeah, the fiber optics, yeah, there's still issues out there.
So any questions or comments from anyone? Thank you.
Item 7.5 is the trustee election bylaw number 2025-26-20, or sorry.
I'd
01.
acknowledge that the bylaw is not in front of us because the bylaw that we adopted, I believe it was last month we adopted it, had a couple issues. One, that it was missing, that this board, after reviewing it, the board uses the provincial, the most recent voters list, and then the city of Prince Rupert holds our elections for us, so that is the list that they use. The only time that they use registers is when someone new comes in and they have to present ID. Otherwise, our bylaw would have meant that they would have to come and register, and that's no fault of, I will say that's no fault of the board or senior staff. This is direction by other parties, i.e. the government, that give templates out and probably should review them themselves, but maybe don't. And the second one is there's 2 elections that's held in the area. One happens to be the 6 seats that are held by the city of Prince Rupert, and the other is the one that holds, and I hold that seat, that it represents the outlying areas of the district, including Lac-Melanson, La-Catla. And so there's basically there's 2 zones, so that we needed to take that into consideration. So I would I'd make a motion that we would rescind bylaw 225-2601.
Seconder for that motion, trustee Meyer, any questions? Or would anyone like to speak to this? All in favor? Wonderful, so moved, thank you.
I'd like to make a
7.6.
Sorry.
Okay, 7.6, trustee election bylaw number 2025-26-02.
I'd like to make a motion that we read for the first time, second time, third, and pass and adopt bylaw number 225-2602. And that takes into account that the relevant information is now included, which is the zones 1 and 2. And it also acknowledges that the most current available provincial list of voters prepared in Election Act will be used to conduct the election.
So first we have a motion to read this a first, second, and a third time, and a seconder for that motion.
Dalton,
Wonderful, all in favor? Great, so moved. And then will you be reading this? Wonderful, thank you.
Bylaw number 2025-26-02, trustee elections, Board of Education of School District number 52, Prince Rupert. A bylaw of the Board of Education of School District Number 52, Prince Rupert, to establish procedures for the conduct of trustee elections. Do I do the preamble? No. Read for a first time, the 16th day of June, 2026.
Seconder? Trustee Beal? All in favor? So moved, thank you.
Read for a second time, the 16th day of June, 2026.
Seconded? Trustee Sanchez? All in favor?
And read for a third time and finally passed and adopted the 16th day of June, 2026.
Seconder? Trustee Beal, all in favor? All in favor, trustee Dalton? Wonderful, thank you. So moved. Thank you very much.
Item 7.7 is the 26-27 school calendar. And I'll pass it off to Ms. Burke.
Thank you, Brittany. Thank you, Madam Chair. So in front of you, not included in your package, but as an additional printout, you'll see an amended 2026-27 school calendar that we'll be seeking a motion to adopt. And I just want to give a little bit of context as to how we got to this current calendar. So as we were working through the minutes of the day and the schedule of the day, we were really struggling to comply with the various constraints that are in place when adopting school calendars, including the Ministry of Education and Childcare hours of instruction and the collective agreement, which outlines when the start of the school year is, the end of the school year, as well as instructional minutes for the day. And what we realized is that this upcoming year is one of the anomaly years that happens about every 6 years, where Labor Day is on September 7th, the school year starts on September 8th. The last time this happened was 2020 and 21. And there is actually provisions in the collective agreement for when the calendar does, when Labor Day is so late. And that is to allow us to not finish the school year on the 4th Friday of June, but to extend to June 30th if necessary in order to meet all of those provisions. And this is indeed, as we look back, what happened in 2020, 2021, and what we're proposing that we'll amend the calendar to for this year. We are actually proposing two things. One of them is to cancel the September 25th implementation day to allow for an additional day of instruction on that day, and to extend the calendar until June 30th, June 30th being the administrative day. And a couple of things have happened between the last time that we worked with this particular configuration. So prior to 2020, 2021, an additional day was added, a statutory holiday, and that's Family Day. So that has caused a bit of a constraint to this calendar. And then more recently, the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation was also added. And before 2020, 2021, there was also an increase from the Ministry of Education and Childcare in the amount of instructional hours that are required. So there's a couple of things that have happened over the last two iterations of this calendar that have caused the calendar to be a little bit more difficult to put in place with what we had originally proposed. So originally we had proposed a 175 day school year, and now we're amending that to be 179 day school year. So that's the amended calendar that's on in front of you. The implementation day in September is the one that will be canceled. The Indigenous Day of Learning, non-instructional day in February, which is also formally called an Indigenous Implementation Day, will remain.
So question, are we needing two motions here? One regarding the, okay, wonderful.
I'd like to make a motion that we amend the former the 2026-27 to implement the changes that's necessary.
I'd like to second that, please.
Sorry, I thought we needed to rescind.
No, I thought about it. We only need to amend the calendar.
Wonderful, thank you. And I had that seconded by trustee Dalton, thank you. And would anyone like to speak to this?
No, I appreciate the fact that you've done a lot of hard work, and I'm sure you spent a lot of tireless nights trying to get this down to every minute and, just know that we appreciate the hard work you've done on this and I'm not really going to belabor this, but, I think there's, yeah, good changes that needed to be made. You've done it. Thank you.
And I have to acknowledge we've been working with the union to really try to make sure that we're adhering to everything that we need to.
I'm sure there are a few of you that had your hands in this pie.
And we'll just address the board, not each other. Thank you. Wonderful. Is that complete for you? Yes. Okay, wonderful. Can we have a motion and all in favor? Wonderful. Thanks. Wonderful. Thank you. Committee reports. Anything further to add, Trustee Meyer, for finance and buildings? Wonderful. Framework for enhanced student learning, I know we met, however, I'm thinking it was a small framework, was it not? Or was it a large framework? Was it small? Large. It was large. Wonderful. So, Superintendent Samuel shared, what happened as well on the 20th of May. And, I just want to share, I was able to attend and always love to come together with people who represent all areas of our district, from parents to, teachers. Sometimes we have students present, admin and partner groups, and it's a wonderful day of sharing and hearing different viewpoints, hearing different, I don't know, hearing just different ways that people can even look and ask questions about data, which is always interesting to me. And also what comes out of the data and ways that we might want to take that and grow with it, and different viewpoints. And always a great day to come together and learn and share. So I'm very grateful that I get to sit on that committee, and also that I get to hear things from a different lens. Wonderful. Provincial Council. Trustee Horn is, I apologize, I should have said in the beginning, has sent his regrets. I don't know if you have anything to add for Provincial Council, Trustee Sanchez. Thanks. I'll pass this to Trustee Meyer for the Policy Committee.
Yeah, policy committee meeting minutes are on page 32. and 38. The first one is childcare policy, which is on page 33. Says in our minutes that we were going to send it out for review, but I was under the impression that we were just adopting it.
Yes,
we just
and then
change?
I thought about it, sorry, and I was thinking that this board still can have the month to review it.
Okay,
It won't be going out to partner groups because it's relative to this table,
right.
but that gives the board a month to look at that
Okay.
policy to see if there's anything they
Okay.
wanted to add.
Okay, so I'd like to make a motion to send policy 5240 childcare policy out for
Internal
review
review.
internally.
Review? Just an internal review,
That's
if it doesn't involve, partner groups. Thank you, Trustee Deal. Any questions or comments regarding this policy?
And I guess just so that trustees are aware, it's just that our childcare policy was to
Regulation?
to regulation and not broad enough. And so we've taken a lot of it out that would be regulation and and that's why it's much shorter and more like a policy.
Thank you. Motion on the floor, all in favor? Great. So moved. Thank you.
And then I would like to make a motion to send policy 1140, student reporting policy.
I think we were getting it.
And policy 1350, student medication policy, and policy 2310, protection of student and maintenance of order policy. And we would be deleting these, sorry. And then these fall under regulations, they're actually not policies.
I'll second that.
Okay, wonderful. Second, Trustee Beal, any questions or comments from trustees? Trustee Beal?
I just want to make a comment. I see that we received the policy review manual again. My understanding is that we are going to use policy review as a template. So I guess come back in September, maybe I'd like to have some sort of idea how many more policies it looks like that we should be deleting as an old board with setting up for the new board.
Wonderful, thank you. We do have a motion on the table. What I would add, and we have a seconder, what I would add to that is that, BCSTA in no way wants to take away autonomy of boards.
No.
And just for clarity as to why we're doing this work that we're doing, they do have, BCSTA has been asked for a long time, so what kind of policies board should have, what definite policies board should have, what should an ideal quote example of a policy look like. However, they definitely shared in the last chair meeting that I was at and that I shared with all of you, that they are, they use this as a guideline, however, also really have policies that are needed at your board level, have policies that guide the work that you do. Our board looks completely different to a board as close as Terrace, to a board as far away as Richmond. So really know what we need. And however, I think we have something like 65 policies.
Yeah.
So there will be a lot that we'll be getting rid of because they really are regulation.
Right, thank you.
So the motion on the floor, all in favor? Great, so moved, wonderful, thank you. And that's the end of policy, thank you. And then District Technology and Steering Committee, trustee Horn has sent his regrets, and so we have Jit here who will share notes and minutes from the committee.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So we had our tech steering committee meeting on June 5th. And we had members from the PCEF, IUA and the Principals Association. We discussed on the agenda was we're looking at a automated dispatch system. It's called Easy Connect. So we brought that up and discussed about moving forward, how this would assist in reducing paperwork and efficiency at the district level with regards to dispatch system, which a lot of other districts are already moving towards. And we are one of the last districts to be moving into that era. So we discussed about how that was going to be implemented at the district, and so that every membership understood that the steps that we are taking at the district level. We also spoke about AI implementation in school districts, and our district is not rushing into AI because we're taking a cautious approach, where we are focusing on privacy, security, and sustainability. A lot of bigger districts have the manpower to move forward in that area. So we're just going to wait and then work with those districts to implement it at our district level. We also discussed on privacy impact assessment requirements. So the district requires a privacy impact assessment document that aligns with the FOIPA and the PIPA Act with regard to privacy. So every new program that we are using, like Easy Connect, which is the dispatch system that we're going to be using, we have to go through a privacy impact assessment that the tech department works on and manages and has a document in place in case there's a breach or a need to review that. And we also discussed on some other incoming events that happening in the district with regards to software renewal, technology for students, and how we are also working on cybersecurity with the ministry to make sure that our cybersecurity levels are in par with the province. So that's lots that's going on with regards to IT and tech at the district level.
Wow, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any
Wow.
questions or comments?
One comment, I'm happy you're holding off on the AI.
Any questions? Wonderful. Thank you so much for that report. As everyone was speaking, I think at the end of the year, it's a time to reflect on every part of our agenda from our presenters, showing us how much work is being done by people in our district as we moved on through our superintendent's report, what admin is doing, all that is being reported and shared in schools, and this is just a snippet of all that is happening. Secretary Treasurer, all that happens in our board office under finances and all of that work that's moving. Every single committee from the finance and building framework, for enhanced student learning. This is one part of the work that I know that Lori and Carla are doing together as this team. And I think of how many meetings I've attended and events in this last few months that have been hosted by the both of you, and how much work you do with data and all that you do. And Tamara sitting beside you, who I know does so much of holding all of this. My goodness, and then provincial council, policy committee is more work on people who are here. JIT, all that you just shared about what happens to keep people safe and security in this whole nother world that we're entering into. And then Kevin and all of operations and everything that happens, from keeping the schools to safety, to snow removal, to mowing lawns, to, and it goes through the summer. So I just, as I
And
look
building
at
a new
this,
school.
and building a new
A
school, and
new
building a
daycare.
childcare center. Right,
Oh,
and then
that's right,
Superintendent
too.
Samuel, who oversees all of this, and as just looking at this agenda, it just kind of hit me in this moment that in every single line, there are so many people that are making this happen and running and doing such incredible work for our district.
With a slim staff.
And then the teachers who are holding up all of our students, and just, I can just see like this tree and everything and everyone who is touched by the work that happens. So, just huge gratitude. I know the board, we talk about this often, but huge gratitude to everybody that does so much for all of our kids. It is
Thank you
so
all.
powerful. And Roberta and her
Yes.
annual report and what that whole department does, and that report, my goodness. Everything that happens and all of the people in the last page and all that they're doing and all of the kids that they're reaching. And to think of, you know, calling out the two people who are curriculum specialists, two people doing so much. Thank you all. So PCS, their commencement is on June 18th. National Indigenous People Day is Sunday, June 21st. Also, not on this list that I think people might like to celebrate in our community, our neighboring community, Port Edward, is having their birthday party on June 20th from noon to 10, and everyone's invited. The last day of school is June 25th, Admin Day, June 26th. First day of school, September 8th, 2026. I hope you all have nourishing breaks and time to rejuvenate yourself. And then the Board of Education meeting is late that first month because there's so much happening. September 29th, 2026. 10-minute question and answer period. Please, I would remind you all that that is connected to the agenda, specifically what is listed in our agenda this evening. Going once. Going twice. Oh, please.
Adding to how many events everyone can join in on the May dancers, Mike and I with Joyce on this Friday. First performance is at on Earth at 9:30. 9:30 to 10:20, and then the second one in the afternoon, 1:30 to 2:30.
Nice. Oh, Friday.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing. And a third time. Happy last meeting of the school year, everybody.
Not last
Thank you
meeting.
so much. Happy last board meeting of the school year, everybody. Happy, everybody. Thank you so much. Very adjourned. We don't have to come back.